Dr. Jon Mitzmacher, the Martin J. Gottlieb Day School. About 10 minutes ago, we finished our second annual edJEWcon, an Institute for 21st Century Learning and Jewish Day School Education. We had over 100 participants representing Jewish day schools from every network, as well as agencies, institutions, universities from all across North America and Israel. Our vision for the conference was learn, reflect, and share. Our vision was that people would come and it would be a peer-led conference. Teachers and administrators prepared, they shared, there was a ton of reflection, and we're hoping what happens now is there's going to be lots more sharing and reflecting, and it's going to continue on and on and on. I think it's important that the conference took place at a school more than it took place here in Jacksonville. We happen to have been the school that came up with the idea, but the model of having a conference take place at an actual school to us is really, really important. It symbolizes the value of transparency, which we think is a very important 21st century pedagogy, that the work that we do should be transparent and available for all to see, to comment, to help us grow. So we think it's really important to have a conference be at a school.
You are becoming recognized as a national leader in 21st century teaching and learning. Is there anything that happened in the past 2 days at the conference that helped you understand something in a new or different way?
I think having a chance to watch my students and my teachers present at the conference really reinforced for me how important it is for teachers and students to be engaged in authentic, meaningful work. That they understand that the things that they're doing in class it's not artificial, it's not homework or schoolwork that they do just to do, that it really has meaning. And watching my students and watching my teachers have a chance to share what they've been doing with an outside audience and to receive feedback from that outside audience, you could see in their eyes and their faces how much it meant to them. And now I look forward to seeing what that added motivation is going to do when they get back in the classroom.
Why 21st century teaching and learning?
As Heidi Hayes Jacobs would say, in 2013, what other kind of teaching and learning could we be doing? We're well into the 21st century at this point. We're uncomfortable even using 21st century anymore as a descriptive of what we're doing. We just think this is sound teaching and learning. So when we say 21st century learning, or when people talk about 21st century learning, they may be talking about technology, but we really think 21st century learning is a series of literacies that are important for our students to master, for them to be successful, functioning, working, and living in the 21st century. And it includes things like second language acquisition, global connectedness, collaboration, transparency, sharing, being engaged in meaningful and authentic work. Those are, to us, the hallmarks of what quality 21st century learning looks like.
And does it require enormous investments by schools in technology and resources?
We don't think so. We actually think that sometimes those two things get confused. 21st century learning is about teaching and learning. It's not about technology and it's not about stuff. There's no question that there is some amount of technology that you need in order to really fully participate in 21st century learning, but it does not take a huge endowment or a huge technology infrastructure to engage in 21st century pedagogy. The best example I can give is you can do all of the good work in preparing for a quality Skype experience. Kids can have the roles of researcher and connector and documentarian and videographer and photographer and back channeler, and you can create all the roles necessary for a great... I am fully convinced that Jewish day schools are uniquely qualified to be leading the 21st century learning revolution by the very nature of how they're built. If you look at some of the core literacies, second language acquisition, right? Most Jewish day schools are engaged in serious second language acquisition. Global connectedness. Jewish schools have been in the business of being globally connected long before there was an internet. Whether it's to Israel or to Jewish communities around the world, we get global connectedness. If you look at a page of Talmud, the critical thinking skills necessary to unpack a piece of rabbinic text look very much the way a blog page would now look, being part of a chain of commentary. There's nothing new about that, it's just being done in a different way. We are really positioned to be leaders in this revolution.
And what would you say to Jewish leaders or Jewish educators who want to learn more?
Start. Start wherever you are. Start reading blogs. Dip your toe in. Try something that you haven't done. Come to an edJEWcon. Come to something in your local area. Start reading books. It's a journey. There's no getting there. but this is where our students and our families are. Heidi Hayes Jacobs talks about the school as a time machine. If kids come into your building and feel like they've gone back in time 20 or 30 years, you've lost them motivationally. We have to be where our kids are. Any school can do this. I think one of the stories of edJEWcon that I think is the most compelling is that edJEWcon was created by a small Schechter Day School of 130 students in a small Jewish community of less than 14,000 people. Every school who comes to edJEWcon is bigger than our school. Every school that comes to edJEWcon just about comes from a community that's much larger than ours and has many more resources available to us. We know that anyone can do this. You don't have to, anyone can do this work.